Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. My name is Camel, but more excitingly, however, welcome back to the Elder Scrolls Detective series. A series in which we investigate, curate, speculate, hypothesize, theorize, and quite often simply highlight and discuss interesting, mysterious, and hidden things that can be found within the Elder Scrolls games. Today we are going to unveil a simple, sad, and rather ill-fated story, and one I think of often for whatever reason. So what better way to unload it from my mind and into yours than to talk about it and show you this sorrowful tale. Now, if this kind of stuff does interest you, be sure to check out my other Elder Scrolls Detective videos that I've already done. They can be found down in the description via the Elder Scrolls Detective playlist link. Now, down there in the description, you can also find all of my social media links. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and of course, click on the link to the brand new merch store with over 100 items carefully designed for lovers of the Elder Scrolls, like this Camel Elder Scroll blanket, designed by yours truly. It keeps you warm and up to date with lore while you watch these videos. But for now, let us dig as deep as we can into this minor fable, which is shrouded by and solved by a secret. To begin our journey, we will be heading to the eastern clutches of the Rift, where we will find this tranquil brook, distinct in its absence of babbling. The creek appears from nowhere in this ditched lowland and then seeps silently further beneath the ground, an area I've always found beautiful and relaxing, and good for grabbing random footage. But just up the hill to the east of this lies a sad tale. As we crest the small rise, we'll spot the weathered wooden doors of a mine, above which sits the stump of a birch tree, seeming to have been snapped by a rock slide. It would appear that the stone foundations of this area are quite brittle. Beneath it, on a ledge just above the gateway to the mine, we can find the remainder of the tree, resting alongside the boulder that conducted this shoddy arboristic act. Out the front of the mine, we can find a collection of common items that are of no surprise. A mining pick, a shovel, a crate, some sacks of rations. There is also a wooden cart filled with small broken stones, and notably, no ore. Once again, highlighting the crappy, brittle stone of the area and apparently its lack of precious minerals. On the map, we can see that this location is called Lost Prospect Mine. And oh, how right, and also kind of wrong, that title is. As we enter Lost Prospect Mine, we will find it dim and unlit, so we will have to provide our own light with a torch or spell. Just to the left of the entrance, we can find a pile of wood that evidently hasn't been used anytime recently to light a fire. We will also begin to notice the flourishing mushrooms that appear in almost all variety of species. To be exact, we can find Whitecap, Namira's Rot, Fly Amanita, Blisterwort, and Bleeding Crown, all of which spawn quite healthily within this cave. Why exactly so much fungus can be found in here is not known, although it might imply the complete lack of life within the mine. As you know, humans have a tendency to remove any fungus-like growth from their abode. Anyway, just near the wood, we can find an unlit brazier with yet another wooden cart next to it. Once again, full of boulders and no ore. A few barrels and sacks litter the corners of the cavern as well. As we venture beyond the vestibule and through the only passage forward, we will come out into a moderate open chamber, within which there are a few spots of interest for us to inspect. There is a pool of cold black subterranean water, atop which bobs a pail. Its bucket brethren lies drowned at the other side of the subterranean tarn. Beneath the water's surface, we can find a trio of tripod spiderfish sitting patiently on the silty bottom. Feeding this void pond is a waterfall, but we'll come back to that a little later. For now, we'll head up the passage to the left of where we entered the chamber. Through here, we will find ourselves completing our ever so short sojourn sooner than expected, as to the right is a dead end. No sign of ore or gems, just depleted stone. Cracks, crevices, and corners, filled by a lingering gossamer cast by spindly cobwebs. Here, on a shelf, we can find a sack, a lantern, a tankard, and an iron mace. These don't seem to be of any significance, although the surroundings do tell of a fruitless mine. Across from this, we will find another dead end. A mining pick is lodged firmly into the musty loam, from which mushrooms sprouts, but there is nothing of note for a mine. Back in the main chamber, there is a tunnel that burrows deeper into the crust of Nirn. Down here, more mushrooms spring. In another alcove devoid of minerals, an unlit lantern lies defeated. It would seem that even the ornaments in here have given up on the mine. Finally, to the right of where we entered the grove, we can find a wooden ramp that leads upwards. After passing halfway through the crumbling adit, a small opening appears on the right, harboring a few items. A shovel shoved into the soil along with a basket and an empty bowl. As we'd come to expect at this point, there is no ore, gem, or mineral to be seen. It's almost as if the bowl serves as a begging bowl, pleading with the mine to give it something. Please, sir, can I have some ore? Further down the barrow, we will find another passage that leads to diddly squat, it's a technical term, and a whole lot of nothing. On the floor, we can spot another tankard, besides which is a leather helmet for whatever reason. Now back out into the central chamber, we have one thing left to inspect. The wooden table pushed up into the corner. Atop it are a few items of notable interest. There are two tankards resting next to a small keg along with a sack. Before them is a wooden plate harboring a cooked tripod spiderfish. At the back left corner is a lantern and a draught of health. This potion is likely at hand to heal the spirit of whatever poor fool was trying to mine ore here. Under the table is a pair of leather boots, something that I think they should have given to this cavern. The boot. And of course, there is a small booklet lying on the surface. This is the Journal of Hadrir, and it will reveal much. 3rd of Hearthfire, 4th Era, year 200. You know, just when you think you've hit bottom, sometimes the Aedra throw you a rope. Since the rebels took over the mines in these parts, I haven't been able to find work anywhere. And then along comes Burn, my old partner, with a deed to some old gold mine out in the hills. It's been too long since we did a job together. What, 4 years now? Nice to finally work with someone who knows the business. Sounds like the place was a steal too. 22nd of Hearthfire, 4th Era, year 200. No one sells a mine for a song. I figured the place would be in bad shape, but not this bad. Barely a glorified cave. There may have been gold here once, but we don't even have a vein to start with. We struck out at random, 3 weeks digging the lower tunnel, but nothing to show for it yet. 15th of First Seed, 4th Era, year 201. Nothing. No gold, no gems, no ore. Not even any useful stone. The rocks around here crumble the moment you stack them on one another. I'm ready to toss it in, but Burn wants to keep on going. Just a little further, Hadrir. We're so close, Hadrir. Ugh. Burn wants me to head back to Riften for supplies next week. Might give me a chance to cool down. 29th of First Seed, 4th Era, year 201. So I come back and nothing. No sign of Burn. It's like he just up and left. There's no blood, no struggle. He just, ran out on me, I suppose? I've waited 3 days and he's not coming back. I'm going to head back to Riften and see if I can find him or find some other work there. No sense wasting more time here. Burn, if you find this, I expected better from you. Oakley dokley neighbor. So, Burn seems to have gained the right to this mine at the cost of a song. Whatever genre it was, it would appear that it wasn't heavy metal, as there appears to be none here. Hadrir also mentions the crumbling stone, which links back to the tree out front earlier that was split in two by a falling boulder. But to get to the rock bottom of this weird empty mine, we must make a leap of faith. Remember that waterfall at the center of the cave? Well, if we look at it closely, we can actually see that there is what appears to be a tunnel behind it, and while it seems inaccessible, you can actually get up here by whirlwind sprinting off of the table or by jumping with great precision from the small ledge to the left of the opening. So once we're up here, we can actually make our way through the passage. A shaft of light beams through a cavity in the stone ceiling, illuminating the path before us. A strange indigo mist swirls through the dense air, its purpose and origin unknown, although I might have an explanation for that a little later. Further on, a sharp turn to the right will reveal a small hidden chamber, within which lies the answers to our questions to the mystery of this mine. Glimmers of gold sparkle through the grey rock, veins of the precious metal marble the bleak walls, an untouched grotto of aurum delight, although it would seem it's not entirely untouched, as we can spot a few mining implements dotted around the room, and then we can find a sad note in the tune of Lost Prospect Mine. As we inspect the edges, we will find this. A flat miner. This is the skeletal remains of Byrne, who evidently didn't abandon his friend Hadrir at all, but instead fulfilled their dream to find gold, and then was crushed under the collapse of the weak and crumbling stone that we know surrounds this area, with of course the broken tree out front, all the weak rocks stacked in the cart, which were also mentioned in Hadrir's journal. Sadly, Hadrir will always remember his friend Byrne as someone who walked out on him, when in fact he died mining while Hadrir was in Riften getting supplies. And given all of the gold ore veins here are untouched, we can surmise that poor Byrne didn't even get to hold the gold he worked so hard to find. I guess you could say he got burned, buried by boulders, pick in hand as he made his first strike against the soft, valuable metal. But with striking the metal, he also struck the brittle cave, which led to his untimely and very weighty death. Let us hope that Byrne now resides in Sovngarde with all the gold he could dream of. So, the mystery of Byrne's disappearance has been laid to rest, much like the man himself. But there might be an explanation to a few other things, as in the Elder Scrolls Online, Lost Prospect Mine makes an appearance. But it's very different to what we find here in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Interestingly, in ESO, it's just called Lost Prospect, notably missing the mine part. Inside, we can find it being used by worm cultists, where they are sacrificing prisoners. Now, these dark magics may have sapped something from the foundational stone, the life force of nature in the surrounding area, leading to, of course, the rocks in the area being weak and fragile. It may have also placed a curse on the mine, or simply spread some kind of mystical bad juju, for a lack of a better phrase. The mine is also noticeably much larger than what we find in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, suggesting that it has had a lot of cave-ins over the centuries, once again due to that brittle stone that killed Byrne. Interestingly, there is also no gold here in the Elder Scrolls Online, or any other type of ore, but instead these large blue crystals. Now, I don't know what they are, I don't know what they're for, and I don't know where they went, but they are blue. Now, with all of this new knowledge, we can assume that Lost Prospect Mine's necromantic past led to the sorry state of the geology, and to the sorry story that we just revealed. Now, the obscure and out-of-place blue mist that we can find within the cave in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim may be either remnants of these unknown blue crystals that once formed here and magically vanished, or it may be an occult haze harboring the negative and caustic energies left as a byproduct of the rituals that once took place within these walls. None of these pontifications are confirmed, of course, but I am very curious to hear your thoughts on these esoteric occurrences. These kind of things are, of course, all in a day's work when it comes to investigating the Elder Scrolls series and its many strange stories. So I do hope that you have learned something new about the beautifully mad universe that these wonderful games take place in, the Elder Scrolls. If you have any information, facts, evidence, speculation, theories, or just anything to do with Lost Prospect Mine, Hadrir, or our poor old Burn, I would love to hear what you have to say. If you have any ideas for something that should be covered in the Elder Scrolls Detective series, be sure to let me know. I'll look into whatever strange and obscure topics you present. If you enjoy this video, please do me a kindness and leave a like, makes the video look good, and leave a comment with your Elder Scrolls Detective video ideas and your thoughts on this sad tale. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos similar to this one, please subscribe. It helps me know that people enjoy these kind of videos and will result in more of them in the long run. Be sure to click that little bell icon that everyone talks about next to the subscribe button right here on YouTube so that you will be notified when a new Elder Scrolls Detective video is uploaded. My other Elder Scrolls Detective video links can be found down in the description via the Elder Scrolls Detective playlist. Down there are also links to all of my social media. Be sure to check all of that out and keep up to date with what I'm up to, along with following me on Twitch. And of course, be sure to check out the merch store where there is a ton of cool stuff on there, most of which I painstakingly designed myself. And if you did enjoy this video and you would like to help support the channel in a more personal way, you can become a patron on Patreon or a member right here on YouTube with the join button. As I'm sure you know, all of my time and energy goes into making these videos that I create for you to enjoy, so your support is most genuinely appreciated and welcomed in any and all forms. So thank you very much for watching, thank you for supporting the channel. I've been Camel, and I will see you very shortly in the next video. I'll see you there soon.